The amount of rubbish in Cairo is quite staggering. The bulk of it comes here, an area known as Garbage City. And it's dealt with by the Zabaleen, an army of unofficial workers who recycle more than 80% of the rubbish they're collecting, making them the top recyclers in the world. Even so, the amount of rubbish is overwhelming. Look at this Cairo skyline. There are piles and piles of rubbish stacked up on the city's rooftops. The rubbish and the huge amount of plastic waste ends up everywhere. So many of the tributaries and irrigation canals leading to the River Nile are utterly clogged with every type of scrap imaginable. This could well be the future nightmare scenario of all inhabited areas along the length of the Nile. The canals seem to have become dumping grounds as the city's population grows and the rubbish it's generating grows with it. That leads to entire waterways being clogged, and it will have a devastating effect on agriculture, on fish, and on the livelihoods of millions of people. Fish have been a staple part of the Egyptian diet since the days of the pharaohs, and the fishing industry employs hundreds of thousands of people in the country. We wanted to know just what impact all this plastic was having, so we turned to a top scientist to do the first research into the prevalence of microplastics in Nile fish. Dr. Farhan Khan examined a batch of fish from the Nile, and two of the most common. In more than 3/4 of them, he found microplastics.
When all the samples were laid out on the bench, you could go through them and see really quite big bits of plastic, and you could see really quite big bits of plastic on a lot of the samples.
Many of the fish had ingested more than one piece of plastic, and Dr. Khan was focusing only on the larger sections.
If anything, we've probably underestimated what the problem is. That, the fact that we've detected visible plastics, ones that you could take pictures of with your phone, for example. So we're not seeing the smallest size ranges. So that estimate we make of around 70 to 80% is probably on the conservative side.
Egyptians are very precious about the Nile, and citizens have been jailed in the past for doubting its cleanliness. But we found a great many are worried about the plastic in the world's longest river, which feeds into the Mediterranean.
I do get frustrated that no matter what I do personally, it's so hard to change people's habits. But people have bigger problems in their everyday life, of just getting by. They don't understand the damage they do by chucking stuff away.
Our research is a startling indication of just how big the problem of plastic in Nile fish is. This is a river at risk of being suffocated by plastic, and it's only getting worse. Alex Crawford, Sky News in Egypt.